Hello everybody and welcome to Super Mario World Randomizer. Yeah, this is not the usual Mario randomizer, well, it's the Mario randomizer screen. It's not the usual Mario World loading screen. And I'll get into what exactly this randomizer is in a moment. It's fairly easy to explain. There will be a link down below in the description if you want to randomize a Mario World for yourself and play through it. There's a number of different presets available to play through. There's very much the easiest, which just switches some levels around. Then you've got a couple of in-between steps. Then you've got average, which is the one I did. And then you've got another couple in between steps. Then you've got hard. And then you've got one that's hardcore, which is just goes absolutely apeshit. The only difference between the default preset for average and the thing I'm doing right now is that after every level completion, the game will autosave, because you'll see why in a moment. I guess go into this level because that's the direction we're supposed to go usually. This should not be too difficult yet. I think I remember this level. I've played Mario World a couple of times. I've completed the game in its entirety probably like 3 times, and I'm still getting used to the control mapping I did on this emulator. I think I've completed the game in total like 3 times. So I'll know a decent amount of the levels, and I'll just be familiar, generally speaking, with the gameplay. But I am not by any means a master at the game. One thing I should mention, which doesn't seem relevant yet, but will eventually become relevant, I am 99.300% sure, which is just 99.3, is that one of the things that gets randomized is the physics. And you might be thinking, how does that work? Well, very simply by just applying ice physics to levels that do not usually have ice physics. I'm very glad that this level does not have that with all of these sloped surfaces, because that would be a hell to deal with. I'm also going to die a lot. If you can't stand somebody dying in a Mario game, I know some people get real salty about that. I'm going to get probably fairly salty about some deaths during this playthrough. But if you can't stand people dying in Mario games, yeah, probably shouldn't watch this, because there's going to be a lot of death, because I am not very in practice, and as you can see, things aren't going well for me. So I think that is all the PSA stuff out of the way. There is some more. Look, I've started literally just a minute ago, less than a minute ago. I'm not that good. I'm an idiot. There's some more stuff like color palettes have been randomized as well. So sometimes something will look like one of the chocolate levels. Sometimes something will look like a ice level, that kind of stuff. And that's all going to be very weird and interesting, I'm sure. And sub-levels have also been randomized, which means that if I go through a door or through a pipe, I will end up in a sub-level, like usually. But it will probably be the sub-level from a different level. And that is going to probably confuse mostly me a lot. And obviously a lot of the levels we're going to go through are supposed to be played later into the game when you have already unlocked the yellow or the blue or the red question mark blocks. We're probably not going to unlock them at all, most likely. So that's going to make some stages significantly more difficult as well. Just like a moment ago there. Had I not been an idiot, I would have survived. Had I had the, I think those were the blue blocks, right? Enabled, I would not have died. But since there's no way for me to enable those, at least not yet, I can't survive. I mean, I can. I'll just need to play better. So that does mean that, yes, I will be going to the left there to unlock the... I think the first one you unlock is the yellow blocks. I will be doing that. I don't know if those levels have also been randomized and changed. If they have been, I have no idea where they are, and they might just be somewhere entirely random, and I'll not be able to find them. That is a real possibility, and man, the fact that that's just off screen is really annoying. And that is our first game over. Our first of many, I'll assure you. We're going to die a lot. But having done that, let's go to the left and let's see what that level has to offer us, and if we can get to the place thingy. Okay, so we start off underwater here. Is there going to be any... I mean, that by definition means that there's going to be a sub-level. Or is this counted as the sub-level? Because if... Usually in water levels you have a pipe at the beginning and the end. But going through a pipe is randomized. So there is a distinct possibility that this level is unbeatable. Because at the end, going through the pipe will not take me to the end of the level. That would not be good. That would be really, really bad for me. Also, this is going remarkably well without me paying much attention to the gameplay. I'm kind of... Oh, no, 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 no. You almost had me there. I kind of asked for that one, didn't I? Kind of asked for that one. So, there's no guarantee, by the way, I should mention. There's no guarantee that I'll finish this. I'll do at least an episode or a couple of episodes to have fun with this, but I am not in any way going to guarantee that I beat this game with the randomizer applied, because that could get very difficult. There's going to be levels that are going to be very difficult, and maybe I can't do some of them. It's a real possibility, and even pretty likely. I did not randomize the enemies, which is a option you can apply. You can apply an option to randomize the enemies and enemy behavior as well. I did not do that for one very specific reason. I recorded this before with a randomization patch which just randomized pretty much everything in the game, and that also randomized the enemies and a very select amount of levels, but some levels have enemies which are actually required to beat it. Such as one of the Boo House, the Haunted House levels, has boos that are also bricks when they don't move. And you need to use those to get through the level. But when they get randomized into Koopas, you can't really progress. And theoretically speaking, you could progress through that level I'm describing, which I don't have the footage for anymore because I deleted it out of being very salty. But theoretically you can make it through here, because obviously if there's Koopas, there's shells, which means that you can shell jump. Thing is, I have no fucking clue how I'm supposed to shell jump. Like, at all. I've done it once in a Mario Maker level, like 2 years ago. And then I was very proud of myself, and I never did it again because it was a real pain to deal with. Why was I going through this so easily before? Why am I having all of these issues now? Okay, I threaded the needle. I'm going to focus a little bit more on gameplay right now, because otherwise that might happen a lot more. I was doing so well before, why am I dying a lot suddenly? There might be moments of a little bit more silence in this playthrough as well, because again, sometimes, especially with like action-based games, like platformers, like, oh my god! You need a little bit of focus. Look, if I don't make it through this level before getting another game over, I'll just go back into the other direction and finish that level first, because I was doing fairly well there, and I feel like not making any significant progress anyway within 5 lives. Maybe I should keep at it a little bit longer. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Fuck this game. We're going to the right side again. I'm going to be very annoyed for a very long time playing this game. I hope you guys fucking appreciate it, because I'm already hating it. That's not true. It's fun. It's fun. And this level isn't actually that bad. As you can see, going through this a little bit quicker than I did last time. It's not actually that bad. It's just this specific part over here is a little bit tricky, but once you get used to this, it also isn't that bad. And honestly, it could be a lot worse altogether! Look, that's on me. There's no physics messing with me in this level. That's just on me. That is just an annoying jump. And I could blame input delay from the emulator, but honestly, that is just me being bad, and you're gonna have to get used to that, because there's gonna be a lot of me being bad in this series. Like, there's probably gonna be more me being... That looks like a jump you should be able to make, and you probably can make it. Full disclosure there, you probably can make it, but I just can't. I don't know what I was talking about anymore. I think I was talking about the fact that I'm bad, because I've been talking about that for the entirety of this recording, I think. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of failure, and we're just going to have to learn to live with that. Oh, and some silence, that is it. Yeah, there's also going to be some silence. I realized, oh my fucking, at least I got 2 1-ups. I slid off. I didn't want to jump because I couldn't see where I was jumping. I should have just jumped. Should have just jumped. If I had just jumped, that wouldn't have been an issue. But no, I didn't. Maybe don't rush. You've got all the time in the world. You've got all the time in the world. What are you waiting for? What are you rushing for? I mean, rushing is the opposite of waiting. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. The RNG for those platforms changes every single time, it feels like. Okay, you can just jump this. That's safe. I need to get to a checkpoint, like ASAP. I think there should be a checkpoint around here somewhere. Oh my god, that's a mole! That was surprising. I vaguely remember most levels, or at least a decent amount of levels I vaguely remember. A lot of details about a lot of levels, and just a lot of levels in general, I will not remember very well, and that kind of thing will happen. There will be situations where I just fucking panic into an enemy. And again, there's probably going to be quite a few of those situations. They're probably not going to be very rare. They're probably going to be more common than the moments where I actually know what I'm doing. Well, let's stay at the up path here. Oh, come on! I jumped on you there. I jumped on you. You can go fuck yourself. I jumped on you. At least we're making progress in that level. At least we're making progress. This level, by the way, isn't randomized because it's not really a level, is it? So let's keep doing that. We're going to finish at least a level today. It's a really pathetic thing, by the way, that even though this is a randomizer and more difficult as a whole, that I'm spending so long on this one level. But in my defense, usually you probably go into this level with a power-up, which doesn't excuse me at all because I've been falling into lava left, right, and center. So, but I'm getting better at these jumps. You can see me getting better at a pretty good pace, I'd say. So before too long, I'll probably be able to... Huh. Okay, you can't actually kill those. Or not with just jumping on the head, that is. Before too long, I'm sure that you'll see me doing fairly well. Okay, you are going to be... That's the end of the level. You're going to be an issue. You were almost an issue. We finished the level. We're 14 minutes into the video. We finished the level. I count that as an absolute win. So, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but this means that we automatically save the game. So, there we go. We don't automatically save, we get the option to save. We save the game there. And now, if we get a game over, we're fine. I don't know this level. Is this a Star World level? This feels like it might be a Star World level. Oh, I died. I don't remember this level. It doesn't seem like too difficult of a level, so I'm happy about that at least. But it could get difficult very quickly. I know how this game works. Can I? That is not a thing to go into. Why is there a pipe there if you can't go into... Ice physics! You could see that I wasn't pressing a button there. There was no walk animation there, but I was sliding. Yeah, definitely ice physics, and pretty aggressive ice physics at that. I don't think there's any like aggressiveness value, or like a slidiness value, a slipperiness value. I think it's just literally on or off. But yeah, this level now has ice physics, which it usually might have or might not, because I don't know this level, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, ice physics are going to be added to a good number of levels, and this is one of them, and maybe I just don't recognize the level because of the color palette. That is also a possibility. Maybe usually this is like a chocolate colored one, a brown one, and I just do not recognize it because it is now white. Also, I wasn't paying attention there, and I just kept dying over and over and over again, and we have a game over. But that only goes to show you that I can continue from my last save point. After every level we'll have a save point, because otherwise it's going to be literally impossible to do this. If I end up enjoying this series, and if you guys end up enjoying this series and we do this more often, I'll eventually get to the point where I know all the levels very well, and I'll be able to go through most of the levels without too much trouble. And we might like disable saving after every level, and at a certain point there is an option to disable saving altogether. That is not relevant for right now. As you can see, I am literally jumping into shellless Koopas, which is probably the most pathetic way in Mario to die. So that's not going to be relevant for a while, but it might at some point become relevant. And I want you guys to know that that is a possibility of a thing that's going to happen. And I got a mushroom finally, thank you. Okay, let's not take the coins. Because I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. I am... Oh, no, 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 no! I felt something was going to go wrong there. I just didn't know when. I just didn't know when. But something was going to kill me there. There were so many things happening on screen at once, and I still feel like I know this level, but I keep fucking up at the same points. I'm not even dying in new places. I'm dying in the exact same places over and over again because... I'll also give you this one. This is an excuse a lot of like Let's Players oftentimes use. But for games where you like need to do things like precision platforming, that is even more of an issue than things like Pokemon, where you just need to make strategic decisions. And that is the fact that I'm talking while playing does make this a lot more tricky to actually do. Because there's something in my brain which links precision platforming and fine motor skills to speech, and I can only use one of them at a time, it seems. And man, I'm not even gonna bother. Wait a second, is that a power-up or is that... That is a power-up! I didn't even know this was a power-up in Mario World. I mean, I lost it immediately, but I didn't even know that was a thing in Mario World. A Hammer Bros suit. Okay. Look, I was scared. Okay? I was scared of the flying fucking fish. Did it help me to be scared? No, because I died anyway, so I might as well have died from the fish, because at least I would have had a chance to land on the block. We're learning, okay? We're learning. We're learning, and we'll do well. We'll do well, and at some point I'll keep not dying to that. Some point in the future. The year 2052. I'll probably not die to that shell anymore. See? I didn't die to the shell. I didn't even die to that Koopa. I won't die to this Koopa either. See? I'm learning. I am learning in a very brute force way, and that was embarrassing. I'm learning in a very brute force way. I'm learning the level rather than the mechanics at this point, I feel. Wait, what? Alright, I suppose. What I mean by that is I'm learning the level, I'm just learning literally the sequence of button presses that gets me to the end, rather than reacting to what I'm seeing. So I know that here I can just keep walking, rather than realizing, oh, wait a second, this obstacle is the exact same as the obstacle after it, so it's the exact same way of dealing with it as well. And now that I said that out loud, I hope that that actually registers a little bit better with me as well. That is my strategy there. The things that I usually would do in my mind, say them out loud, which doesn't make for very interesting commentary long term, I am aware. See, I knew that there was going to be a shell there because I've died or at least been damaged to it a couple of times before. That actually went remarkably well. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Okay, we can't do this. Not without getting down. The flying fish are so annoying. We're gonna finish this level in this episode if it's the last fucking thing I do. If it costs me my life, but we're going to do it. Okay, I won't commit suicide in order to finish the level. But I really want to finish the level, that's the thing. Okay, what was that? Really? What was that? Where did that shallow scooper come from? I do not remember that being there last time. Like, at all. So many enemies to jump on. And where do I choose to jump? Right between two of them. Two that were very close together as well. Like, literally a couple of pixels to the left or the right, I would have jumped on an enemy. But no. Something in my mind was like, yeah, we don't want to touch an enemy. And honestly, for dodging purposes, that was impressive. But I didn't mean to dodge there, so it wasn't really impressive. Also, talking about dodging, I didn't really dodge that now, did I? Oh, that's not that big of a deal, actually. Okay, we're going to focus a little bit. We're going to focus. I'm going to stop rambling. And we're going to finish this goddamn level. We're also going to probably attempt the level to the left again, because, again, I don't know if that leads to the usual like yellow block trigger, but we have to check, don't we? Because if it does, we want to enable that as soon as we can. The yellow blocks, I don't think usually are a huge help, but hey, any help is going to be significant in the long term, I'd say. So there we go. That's how we do it around. God damn it! We can make it to the hammer, bro. We made it to the hammer, bro. Look. Jumping upwards with these flying fishes around? Is it fish or fishes? I think it's just... The plural of fish is just fish, right? I know you're not going to believe me, but I pressed the button. That might be the ice physics messing with me a little bit, though. Or the emulator input delay. Maybe I just didn't press the button hard enough and it didn't register, but that doesn't seem very likely because I'm using a PS4 controller, which usually doesn't really have that issue. I mean, it's a controller I've been gaming on for like 2 years. Not true, actually. Actually, kind of almost true. There's the controller I got with my PS4 Pro, and I've had that since Spyro the Reignited Trilogy. I need this in my life. Thank you. Now you're all so goddamn fucked you have no idea. That is why you need to P-block. Okay, that makes perfect sense to me now. I don't know why these blocks are transparent, and that is still very precise platforming for ice physics. But we can do that. Okay, now that we know that the P-block is important, we can do this. At some point in the future, some point this century, hopefully, we can do this. Now that we know that, that is probably... Oh, god damn it. If worse comes to worse, by the way, I do have save states. I do have the option of abusing save states. I will try not to. I do not want to. But I've got the option, and I'm not afraid to use it. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to, but if the game makes me, I fucking will. That being said, time for focus mode for a quick second here. You know what? That probably means that it's a better idea to keep this with me for a little while. Let's press it here. Or not. Let's press it here. Just so that I have a little bit more time to get to the power star here. And then get hit by a fucking flying fish. Hate my life. Hate my life. At least we are making progress. From a strategic perspective. We're not actually making progress in getting farther into the level, but we know what to do. We know what to do, we know how to do it now, and now it's just a matter of pressing the right buttons at the right times. And then hoping that this is not just the first half of the level, but this is actually like the level proper. Because if this is just the first half, I'm gonna be in for some trouble. But as you can see, that went very well. Really well. I don't know, by the way, if you can just jump that. Yeah, you can. If that usually is also a power star, I am assuming that, god damn it, it is. Because this doesn't seem very possible without power star. But power-ups have been randomized, and as you could clearly see, actually, I've got a mushroom now. So, let's put that to use. I just don't know what button puts it to use. That button puts it to use. That's good to know! That almost wasted my power. Power star? Did I say power star? I mean mushroom. So, what does this turn into now? It turns into a Hammer Bro suit. Is that other Hammer Bro suit also randomized then? Is that usually like a fire flower? Or is this just... because it's a special stage, it gives you the Hammer Bro suit? Probably is the latter, I must imagine. At least we have a Hammer Bro suit and a Hammer Bro suit in backup, which means that we're pretty much unstoppable. It's so difficult to jump from a slippery platform. It's... I hate it. At least we're getting 1-ups because we're using... the thingy. What's its face? Also, we can actually use the Hammer Bro power to make life a lot easier on ourselves, I just realized. Yeah, that's probably not a horrible idea. Doesn't make any sense. I just wasted every advantage we had, didn't I? I think I did. Wait, why did that thing not spawn? Did I, like, just overload the system memory? I feel like I did. Well, not my system memory. It's just like the SNES system. Fuck! Okay, so there might also be a lot of parts in this series where I make cuts, where I just go through over and over and over again and fail at the same obstacle a million times, and that's just not gonna be fun watching, so I'll just cut that out probably. I'm very scared. For this episode, we're so far in, I might just like be a little bit silent in focus mode when we get back there again. We are pretty consistently getting back there. God damn it. I saw you coming as well. Okay, let's do this. Focus mode. Okay, so now we hang out here until our power star runs out, because otherwise we kill that Koopa. And then we just hope for the fucking best we can hope for. And that's the end. Oh, that's the end. Hell yeah! Oh. Man, that was rough. Not looking forward to this next level. Next time on the Super Mario World Randomizer. This is gonna be a interesting series. See you all next time. Bye.